Hi everyone. I wanted to do a really quick video tonight. I apologize the way I look. I have no makeup on, but I thought I'd just do a really quick little video. It's not a tutorial or anything. It's basically doing the owl face of the Hugo handbag. I have done the pumpkin, the penguin, and the ghost of her bags. Those are simple patterns. I'll show you those real quick. Those are simple. Some of them are reverse applique, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But I wanted to do my owl. This was the very first one I cut out of all the Hugo handbags, and now this is kind of like the last one that I'm going to get to. But I thought I'd go ahead and do it on camera so you can see how I prepare the face, because when I cut this out, or the reason I didn't do it and I did the other ones first is because I got confused on the how to do the face. So without, let me go ahead and show you the ones I've done. So this is the pumpkin. He's not ready yet, but this is, as you can see, it's reverse applique. So basically I've sewed on behind it. It's a, I guess it goes about where the lines here is sewed in, and I just did, and I did mine on foam. You can do however you want. My owl is on, I'll show you, let me get my pieces so I don't lose them. My owl's gonna be just sewn on Decoville as the backing, no foam, and I'll explain to you that and why in just a second. So this, my owl's gonna just be on Decoville, but this is done on foam. I wanted that little puffy look like a pumpkin, so that's why I did that, pardon me. So anyways, this is basically two pieces. You've got your behind the face look to give you that depth. I chose a green. This is, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. It's Sally Tomato. It's a green from Sally Tomato. It's like a pebble. It's the pebble texture. So if you're like that green, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. If you like it, it's the pebble flavor, like the pebble texture. Anyway, so this is my my pumpkin. And here's my out. My little boos, my little ghosts are done. I'd actually done 3 of the ghosts. So this one is there's a little more to it. You have your bottom piece here that you sew on that goes just under the ridge here. So you'll sew the bottom on first. And then behind the eyes, there's just like the pumpkin, there's a piece that she gives you, a pattern piece where you put down and sew that on, and then these are the only thing that's like appliqued on is the little cheeks. So the ghost is mostly reverse applique, which I found that really easy. The ghost is also on foam to give it kind of a little puffy look, you know, because like he's a little ghost and I wanted him kind of look a little puffy. But this is what I did. This is 100%. This is the full size pattern, and this is 80%. So you can see the difference in the 2 sizes. And I did 2 little ones. These are actually sold to a family. So they all have little ghost bags. So anyways, so that's the little ghost. I also did a penguin, and Percy is almost finished. Here is my Percy the penguin. Now this one, I did this one first, and I found it rather easy. There's a little more to it than the pumpkin and the ghost, but you put your white down, your back of the face first, and then I put this over top. It just like lays right over top the thing, kind of like, you know, you like this. You've got your back piece, and then you just lay it over top, or the little ghost, and then you I put in his little feet, obviously his little nose, and then his eyes. And his eyes, while you typically should sew them on, the eyes, all I did was just put rivets on, and they actually, and there's some double-sided tape behind it, so they're really not going anywhere. But and then it's got his little eyes. I did gold gunmetal on the eyes to maybe give it a little bit of a fleck to his eyes. But anyway, so that's my little penguin. Working on that one later tonight, as well as my pumpkin faces. So Anyways, so the owl, I am, like I said, I'm doing it on the Decoville because the owl is got more layers to it, and since I sew on a domestic machine, I've got to be careful of my layers, because I did on the ghost face, because I did it on a foam, and this vinyl here is a thick vinyl. It is very thick. I don't know, I can't remember, but it's one of the thickest vinyls that I've had. So it did struggle a little bit on the reverse applique when I was doing the eyes and the nose. I had to be very careful of skip stitches. And since the owl has layers, there's like a couple, I think you might go 3 layers. I can't remember. I think it's up to 3 layers. I didn't want to take chances of skip stitches. And since it was like kind of a flat face anyways, I didn't think the need of any kind of foam or anything puffy on the bag. Like I said, just the Decoville. And this is a bound bag, so I will have the structure of the bound bag once I get it finished, since we just got the sheet. And then this is the vinyl that I'm using. It's actually a faux leather. It's the Mora Tan Mora faux leather from Emmeline Bags. So anyways, so let's get into this, and I hope I can get all this done, to get all this little face done. But when you buy the pattern, she gives you, I think I'm okay to show this, you get this placement of the bag. She gives you separate pieces to cut out. I got them all my little pieces are in here, so you have all your pieces together here, and then this is how your placement. Some people will cut them out of the face, do that kind of stuff, but I'm gonna just kind of wing the face, put it together, because I don't know, if it's off just a smidgen, to me it's okay. I mean, I'd like it to be good and precise, you know, well done, but I'm not going to stress out a lot over it because it's a handmade bag. So I've got this. So when I first started looking at this, I couldn't figure out how to do the brow, the little owl's, his little, I'll call it his brow. I couldn't figure out how to do it because you had these 2 pieces. Let me unclip here. You had these 2 pieces, and I thought one went on top of the other to give it dimension. But as I looked at it, and as I thought about it for quite a while and looked at some of the other bags, I realized that this skinny piece here they go wrong sides together like this. And then this peak, these peaks will go together like that. And then what it is, so this will go like that. So this is the back of of his brow, and this is of course the front. So when this gets placed on to your piece, you will have that little peak coming out from his brow, and you'll have the vinyl showing, so it won't be like a raw piece of vinyl or anything like that. You'll have that showing. Now obviously you want a good vinyl or something nice, non-fraying edge. You could use cork because it's going to be over, and these will be raw edges, so you want to make sure you've got something that's going to of course not be be a non-fraying vinyl or material, we should say. So that's that. Now this will go on top of the eyes. So and in her patterns also, I thought I should mention too, she has piping in her bags, which is a real cool look, but again, I have a domestic, I don't want to push it with my layers. So she does give you ideas and how to place it, and what should go first in her placements when you buy, if you buy the extra things. And the owl is of the extra, I think it's the Woodland Friends Woodland Friends add-on. We'll go ahead and go right into sewing it. Again, I shouldn't be, oh, I forgot to put my thing on. It's like I say, I know I'm going to a little more than just a sewing thing, but I'm not doing an actual tutorial, but I thought I'd go ahead and mention, you know, what my tricks are and stuff. Let me get this. I forgot to put my presser foot on. I had to change out my presser foot. I had my skinny foot on, and that does not work well with trying to applique. So let me get this on, and I hate trying to change my presser foot because for some reason, when they make sewing machines, they do not give you enough room to put your hand there. Of course, when you got big old man hands like me, anyway, so there we go. Now, just real quick, presser feet when you're appliquing, especially on faux leather / vinyl or whatnot. I use just your basic sewing foot. I mean, I've been sewing for 10 years and I couldn't tell you what the name of this foot is. I just call it your plain old sewing foot. There is a name for it, but I can't think of it. It's just the plain regular old sewing foot that comes with your sewing machine. I have had some problems with some vinyls in the past, or more recently within the last year, and I purchased this Teflon foot. I use it occasionally, but I tell you what, me personally, I use this more than this thing. Sometimes I'll pull this out and use it, but I end up liking this more than anything. But I thought I'd mention it. There is an option if you can get it for your sewing machine. You have options of getting a Teflon foot. I don't know if there's other Teflon feet that are better than this. I mean, pretty much to me, it's just a piece of plastic. I don't know if that's the reason it goes over smoother. I'm not sure why they call it a Teflon foot, because again, it's, of course, I also bought, no, I didn't buy mine off Amazon. Mine is purchased, supposedly, the brand of my machine. So, so if I was going to say if it came off of Amazon, then I could understand why it's plastic. But anyway, so now also, when you place your pieces on, you can use double-sided tape to hold your pieces on in place. And if you've got a double-sided tape friendly machine, obviously go right ahead. My machine and double-sided tape have not been getting along lately. They, I don't know what the deal is. We've just had go-arounds with it. So I'm just gonna try to do my best to hold the pieces on and sew it and use as little double-sided tape as I possibly can. One other note, and I had this sitting out so I didn't forget, needles. When you are trying to do applique, I highly suggest the top stitch needle. Now I use the Schmetz needles. I just have always used them. I would highly suggest a top stitch needle, not your basic Microtex, cotton sewing needles, because this is a 90-14, and that's what I've been using. So that's an idea, just the suggestion that you want to do if you want to applique. So anyways, so basically this is layered. Now the feathers in the owl are reverse applique, meaning this little part here, you cut these out of the material, make them just cut out, and then behind, and it's just like the other stuff, you put another layer behind it, and then that will look like little feathers. But I have this awesome cork. This is a cork. It's called bark cork. So obviously it's supposed to look like a tree bark. I think it's awesome looking cork. I'm using this instead of doing the feather look, like that, the little teardrop look and layering. I'm going to use this, and this is going to be the chest of my owl. So I think this would be really cute than try to put more layers on there. And like I say, I love this cork. It is absolutely, it's awesome looking cork. Okay, so basically again, you're just going to start your layers, and you want to try to set it down. I'm going to point my camera down so you can see what I'm placing my stuff here. Okay, I think that would work. Yeah, so basically you're going to want to obviously set it up first. So I'm going to set it up to make sure I know where everything's going to go before I start sewing. So I have to watch, and you got to watch your placement of these little eyes, back eyes, I guess you could call it. Because this will go a little bit over here, and these pieces here, these are also the Mora faux leather, so you can see the thin, so it's real thin and it's very easy to sew. So my layers it won't be real layer, but see, you're gonna layer over that, and this is how you'll know for sure too what should get sewn on first. So you're gonna see that the eyes will layer just slightly over the little chest. So you'll have that. So you know the chest will have to go before the eyes. Obviously and then the nose will go on top of that. So you got to make sure all of that's sewn. So the nose will be one of the last pieces as well as the eyes. The very last piece you're going to put on is going to be his brow. This lays over top of his eyes and it lays down like that. And that completes it. And there's your little owl face, I think. There you go. So you can see the setup of this. So the first thing, when I'm looking at this, the first thing I'm going to sew down is going to be his chest, because obviously that is the most part that is underneath everything. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to sew this piece first, because when I put this, again, I'm not using double-sided tape, because I don't want to try to start sewing and accidentally hit it and get all kinds of skipped stitches. But obviously I can't sew it all together like that, because that's what I'm going to have to use to sew it. So what I decided to do is I'm going to sew in the center of the brow, just line up through here and a line through here. That'll hold my pieces together. And then what that's going to do, again, it's going to hold my pieces together, and then I feel like it will add a little bit of dimension to his brow as well. This particular faux leather that I'm using, this is the Rex faux leather from Emmeline Bags. It's just a tad bit thinner than the Mora faux leather, and it's a lot thinner. So putting these two together will be okay. But again, then I got to take this and put it on top of that. So you're looking at 3 layers, well, 4 counting my interfacing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this first. Now, instead of using a thread that's going to like completely go in, I'm using it's a Saya Swag thread. I think it's caramel something or latte. I can't remember the name of the thread. But it's here's what it looks like. This is the thread I'm going to use here. This I think it'll blend with most everything that I have. Oh, sorry, I'm pulling my thread. It'll blend with most everything I have, and I think as long as I keep my stitch not too crazy big, it won't like be real noticeable. But I want dimension anyways, so it won't be so bad. So I'm going to make sure my back piece matches up as best as I can to this. Now, when you're doing some of these, especially sometimes when you cut things out, it's not going to be perfect. Let me get my clippy here. I'm matching them up here like that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Matching them up here like that. So these are going to be matched the best I can. Now, obviously, it's not going to be perfect because you're cutting them out, and these are hand cut from a pattern. So when you get done sewing these together, you can clean up these edges to make it match better so you don't see that. Now you can also, once you get this put together, is edge paint it. That will give it a nice clean edge too, and you won't notice any little mishaps or unevenness. All I have is black edge paint. Any edge paint I do is always in black, and I don't even use a primer because I don't know why. I just don't. But what I might do is when I get done, I might go ahead and edge paint just a tad, just this little edge right here, and that's it. Just so when it sticks out, you won't see any of that backing on that. So I'm going to clip that together. That's where I want, and I'm going to go ahead and clip the brow all the way up through just to hold it in place where it's supposed to go, and after I get it clipped here. 713. After I get, oh, we don't want to take that one off. After I get it clipped, I'll show you. Real quick what it looks like. So, whoa, there's the front of it, and there's the back of it right there. So you can see how the back, this is the part that goes against the oops, let me get my little face. That goes against the front of the bag. So that's the back of it here. Whoa, there's the back, and then we're gonna lay it down. That'll get laid down like this. I will probably, right before I sew it, I will scooch some of this around to make it fit and look a little better, because I want to cut as little off as possible, since this part of it's going to be in the back and hidden. You won't see it. I'm going to scooch the front part up and make sure that looks nice, you know, along the top edge. Like I said, if there's anything that needs to be cleaned up on this end piece, I can always do that once it's sewn on the bag, just to make sure it looks nice. So again, and I'm going to freehand this. So again, I am going to just kind of sew up through here and then take a stitch and go out here, and it's all going to be done in the middle of this. So let me go ahead. And on a domestic, I'm sewing at a 4.0. If anybody wants to know what I'm sewing the stitch length on, I need to fix that a little better. There we go. And I just want to clean that up a little bit. So that's, I did a real sloppy clipping job, sorry, and I got to fix it. This I do need to fix to make it look right. So there we go. So I've got it fixed, so you should not see any of that in the brow, and it's all hidden behind the front brow here. And if it hangs down just a little bit at the bottom, like there, that can be cleaned up as well, because this part will be shown on the front of the bag. Now this very tip of it will be covered by its nose, so if I've got a little snip there, I can go ahead and just snip it off just in case, but the nose will cover the very tip of this. So I'm going to start from here and go right straight up the middle. Again, I'm just eyeballing it anyways. I think, oh, I don't know if you can see, let me do my camera here. I don't know if you can actually see, if you can just, there we go, maybe, how I'm sewing here, because I don't have an angle. There we go. Maybe you can see it, and I'll just kind of, all right. I'm just trying to go up toward the center as much as I can, get to the center as much as I can here. That should be all right. And I'm just going to take a right or a left, and then just kind of curve it around. I'll just take that off for a second. That's kind of getting in my way. And this again, this is just my little thing. And I am going to do a back stitch instead of tying it off, but it's the color, it's going to probably blend. There's my scissors, there we go. My desk is a mess. We'll just snip that off. And I did not go to the very, very tip, because when I sew everything, when I sew it onto the bag, although this piece will be off the bag, I'm still going to go over that area, so it's like a complete flow of a stitch. So and then you'll see on the back it's off of just a tad bit, but again, that will be trimmed here. And then again, I'm just going to edge paint it. Like I say, it's black. Since this is a very dark brown, it won't matter. So then I'm going to take my next stitch to hold it on, is I'm going to take it from this point here, right here, from this little, I'm going to start my stitch right here in this hole. And this thread, I will pull this thread through because it's right there in the center. So I'm going to start right there and then take my angle and go out. And I will pull my threads through from this point here. So I got to give me some long threads. And then I'm just got to be real careful placing my needle. And hopefully I can see. But I'm going to switch out in my more zoomed in glasses because this will see better. And you're just basically gotta feel it out, watch your needle, make sure it goes into the hole. Need to go out just a tad. That should work. And then hold your threads and take her down. There we go. Now let's go out and do the same thing as I did to the other side. You will get some shifting, especially since I'm not using double-sided tape, so, but just fine with me. I'd rather have a little bit shifting than missed stitches. I can always fix. Missed stitches just, ugh, drive me crazy. Yep, and I went almost to the end with this one. Okay, I got too close, but I think we'll be all right. So there's that. So this is what it looks like. And like I say, yeah, I know you can see that thread, but that's kind of where I was going with that. As you can see the thread sticking there. So I'm going to pull this thread through and tie it off. I get my needle in there. Wow. All right. We'll tie this off real quick. And then we'll get sewing with the rest of it. I'll go a lot quicker. So still with me. I appreciate it. I just thought, like I said, I just thought I'd do this real quick. Let's just show it because I got confused on it. And she's got a ton of cute faces to make. And I think if you see one that's got a little more detail to it, it might be easier to do the other ones. Okay. I went off of that a little bit, but that's okay. I still kind of like it. Okay. So my brow, there's my brow. The front of it looks fine. I don't see anything on the front. I mean, it looks like there is, but you're seeing where it separates at the top, but there's nothing when I lay it down. I don't see any of the back of the part of the brow. So that looks good there. Oh, there's just a tiny little snippet there. I see just a tiny little piece. And I don't want it, when it sews on, I'm afraid it's gonna pop out. So let's, and this is gonna be up against the bag, so it's not gonna matter if this, okay. I'm afraid when I sew it, let me do this real quick. I'm afraid when I sew it down onto the bag, this part will pop up over when I put pressure on the front of it. Sometimes that happens, so we'll do that. There we go. All right, so anyway, so we got that. So we're gonna put this aside, and now we're gonna go back to this. Let me get these out of the way. So we're gonna go back to this. So again, I'm gonna place this. Now again, she has a great thing where you can place it if you want to use that. I did write some notes here, but the notes that I wrote were if I was going to use the cute little flecks of feathers in there, which since like I said, I'm not using. So this kind of, let me go ahead and mark the centers of my bag. So you're basically, I'm just going to try to center it the best I can. On this, and then and this one actually is a full size too. I know I showed you the little ones. The pumpkins are small. Those are 80% too. So just so that I'm gonna go ahead and mark the center of this. So I'm basically gonna center this on to this little thing, and this has a good backing too. This is a Sally Tomato cork. So it's got her little label on it. She puts her little label on the back. So this is a nice thick backing of a cork. You can get some other corks that has good backing, but hers is a little thicker. All right, so you got to be careful too, again, with your layers. So I got this, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to go ahead and clip it because, like I said, I'm trying not to use double-sided tape. Because when you start layering, you may not remember where some of the tape is. And, well, I've already told you what happens to me with that. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and sew this on. So I'm going to go sew around the whole, I guess, kind of clamshell. So I'm going to sew around it. And right at the bottom, and it's all going to be 1/8 of an inch seam allowance to sew these on even, and I do sew it at the bottom to hold it, the bottom in place as well, since you're going to base the bottom anyways. So I just start at the bottom. It's because my threads, that way I won't have to worry about tying off threads. And I do sew a little faster than some when I based. And I don't use a presser foot. I use my start-stop button. I stopped using a presser foot many years ago, and I tell you what, I have more control with this. So you just gotta go around. If you got good control, you can just keep going. Just keep an eye on it. Make sure you stay on your thing here. Now I can feel it slipped a little bit. I'll show you here in just a second. So my little chest piece slipped just a tad bit. It's off. I mean, it's just a smidgen. So we've only got that much of a hangover, and sometimes that happens because of the well, I didn't have double-sided tape on it, plus the friction, the pressure of this. I mean, the Teflon foot might have helped a little better, but I'm good with it. It's just a tiny bit. So my next would be the eyes, or the little eyepiece, these little back eyes. And again, you gotta watch where you just gotta place them. She shows, so you got the little pointy up here at the top. So this is what goes next. And then I'm just gonna look at the picture and eyeball it the best I can. To get these to place them correctly. So I know it goes over the cheek, over the chest just a little bit. I need to keep it centered the best. I'm gonna do it this way so I can see where I'm at with these eyes, because I'm looking at the picture. And I am seeing, thinking about a little over a ½ inch in between. There's my center right there. And I gotta account for my seam allowance, so I know the eyes need to go in enough so they're not caught in my seam allowance. So, let's see, I think we're good. I think we're good here. Yeah, I think that looks good there. So, I mean, obviously I'm not going to leave that there. I'm trying to think if I dare put double-sided tape. I know I cannot put it in the eyeball area because I have to sew over where the eye goes. No, I'm just going to hold it. So, I mean, I know that looks stupid. I just sat there and eyeballed it, but anyway, let's go ahead and sew. I might take my time a little bit slower on this. Let's go a little bit slower. Now I can feel it puckering. just got to hold it down the best you can. I'm trying to hold it flat with my hand. Just kind of go with the flow. And when applique, now I'm gonna tell you what, I hate appliquing quilts. I don't know why. That is not my favorite thing to do when I do quilts. I love piecing a quilt. But these, I swear, I think it's just so addicting. I got a little bit of a pucker right here, so let's just I love these. I don't know what it is, but I love doing these. These are so fun. All right, there's one. Like I say, I think the brow was probably and it's not, doesn't really take that long, even though this is probably one she's got on there. This is one of the trickiest faces. I tell you what, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's taking that long. I did get that real close to the seam allowance, but that should be okay. So we'll go ahead and put this other side on, flip it around. Let's start from here. Yeah, that's a good spot. Kind of start right here. And then we'll just go to town. Take our time. Keep it flat on my hand. I'm holding my hand on the piece to try to keep this flat and stable as possible. Now, of course, if you chose to do the little feather look, that would have went first. That would have went down before you put the chest cover on, because that's, and then you would have had to applique each little, you'd had to have sewn through each little hole, sewn around each of these little holes to give it, to hold it down. Again, I wasn't doing that, and I liked my little cork that I used. So you'd have to sew, put this piece, the backing piece down first, and then sew around each hole like that. It probably wouldn't have taken very long to do it, but it been a little tedious. All right, so there's that. I just backstitch. You could tie your threads off, but I just backstitch. All right, so there we go. See, it's already looking like the little owl. It's so cute. We only got a few pieces left. So this really, I mean, what, 37 minutes into it? So it's not too bad. I mean, and I did, most of it's for me just yammering. So I'm going to do the little nose and then the eyes, and then I will put my little, somewhere it's here, I'll put my little brow piece on. That's the very last piece she says to put on, because it goes over top of all, you know, the eyes and stuff. So put these aside. I'm going to put the little nose on, and it goes like this. So I want to cover. It needs to go over that like that, and then just try to center it the best you. Oh, wait a minute. This goes over the brow. The brow goes. This goes very last. Okay. Let's see. Slide the eyebrows down. It sits on top of the eye. Okay. Well, it's a beak. It's not a mouth. Sorry, or nose. This is a beak. So the beak does go very last because the beak goes over, which I already said that. The beak goes over top of the brow. So that'll be last. Let's go ahead and do the little eyes. You just try to place them the best you can. Again, you can use her pattern, but I'm just gonna eyeball it. Sorry. Kind of looks okay right there. It's kind of center-ish. And let's go ahead and just get down and just go around. Let's see, let me hold that thread there so it don't. All right. just bear with me here. I'll get these on. Sometimes I get a little carried away on my, there we go. I don't think it looks that bad, the different. And the thing, the center of it, will go a rivet in her pattern. She's got you putting a rivet right there. So I'll get a gold rivet and place a gold rivet right through the center there. Depending on time, I don't know if we'll do that on camera or not. Maybe. So that looks good there. Let's go ahead and stitch this down. See, it doesn't take, I mean, it's not, like I said, she said this is one of the trickiest ones, and you can see, except for the part of me trying to figure out how to do that brow on this, and I thought I wasn't going to, you know, I thought it was going to be difficult. It's not. You sit down and, whoa, think about it. I don't know if I'm going to get that to line up, because I kind of went over a little bit. Oh, well, I think we got it. There we go. So far so good. Oh, it looks cute. So now we're going to put the brow on. There it is. So again, we're going to put this piece here. That piece is going to be in the back, and we're going to place it. Let's look at the picture here. It's going to get placed okay, so everything, and then, oh, let me clean that up a little bit. Because now when I sew the beak on this, there's, even though there's a little bit there, there'll be at one point, I'll have the 2, 3, 4, 5 layers, because the Decaville is going to go over the cork and a little bit over the cork and the eyes, so you've got those layers there too. So, and then at one point here you got that where the back of it is in the very center. So again, that's kind of why got to be careful with your thing. So I'm just going to place it, and you're going to place it down. It's going to go off a little bit if you do it right. Try to make it as even, I think, and you can go up a little bit. I think I should be able to put it, actually I think I should put it right at the tip. Let's see if I can hold it up, show you. Right at the, where these two meet at the cork. So that's where I'm going to put it, their starting point there. And then I'll go over, I think you can see, let me see, point this down a little better. You can see where I have it. It goes right over the eye. It's supposed to, this part was supposed to cut off right here at this little, well, at this little point, well, let me go there, this little point here. The eye goes out to just a little bit of a point. Your brow will go over and it should meet it right there. So when it goes off, and then it just goes off just the tail bit. Now, she's got in here, don't use Decaville. I know in some of her little pieces that goes off in her little faces, she suggests Decaville, but she doesn't suggest Decaville in this. And I'm thinking because it's just a tiny bit that goes off. It's not a lot. And you've got, you know, I don't think it really needs to be that heavy. So we're going to put this down here. I'm going to start it there, hold it with my hand, and then as I get up to the top, I will hold this down and kind of move it around a little bit. Like I said, since I'm not using double-sided tape, I could probably go ahead and put it in through the center of it now, knowing that I'm not going to need to sew anything over it, but I've gone this far without it, so hey. So we'll go ahead and start here, and this is going to be covered up, so I'll be able to do it good. There we go. And then we'll just do it the regular, do what we've been doing here. Look at that. Just try to keep it as close, you know, 1/8 of an inch. I kind of go more of a 1/16 on this stuff. Let me see, I gotta move this a little bit. There we go. And I'm just keeping it stretched in the right spot as I possibly can. And this is not a big curve, so I can there we go. Again, even though you know what, I just thought of something. You got to be careful with this, because when you got to keep this in the seam allowance, keep it out of the seam allowance, so you don't want to stitch it down all the way. I just thought of that. So I'm going to back stitch. I'm close to the end, so I'm going to back stitch it here and then start a new spot. So I've got up to here, and I've got to be careful because we got to have that, we got to keep that out of this. We got to be able to put the bag together and not have the eyebrow in the bag. And it just hit me. So good to note. Sew it up to a certain point, keep it out, and then what you're going to want to do when you sew the bag together and get it all together, if you want that complete look, you can just stitch just that. I mean, I guess it really depends on how it looks and how you want your bag finished look. So I'm going to go in a little bit, roughly, I don't know, maybe three, oop, that's too far over. 3/8 of an inch in, because that's roughly what my seam allowance is. So we'll just do that, and then just go ahead and just go on around it. I'm kind of getting a little too close to the edge, so I gotta be careful here. Peak, and then we're going to flip and then go around. Now again, this one this has not been held down yet, so just hold it in place. I want to stop. I want to do a little back stitch there. Well, no, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, that little extra stitch in there, it's all right. I think when the bag gets completed, it might look better. I don't know. Well, if that was a good idea or not, honestly, but it's done, it's done. Okay, did I cut that? I did not. We're almost there. I'll just do a quick little, so we're gonna go in just a little bit and start. This wasn't too bad. The layers actually weren't near as bad as I thought, but again, I kept my pieces late. Because I didn't want that to happen. So we got that. Now we just got to put its little beak, I've been calling the nose, the beak on. There we go. So again, we're going to take this guy, put it right on top. This is like the most layers right through here. His little beak. It makes him look like he's got a heavy brow or something with that little extra stitching. All right. Sorry, I keep looking at my watch. So just center it up the best, and then there you go. Isn't that cute? I love his little face. I love these little faces. I can't help myself. They're so cute. He's got a crooked beak, but you know what? It's all right. His little beak's a little bit crooked. But anyway, see, now look at that. That looks so neat with that cork at the bottom. You don't need to do the little feather look. That is so neat looking. So let's throw some rivets through his eyeballs. Oh, I vacuumed. Forgot I got something to wear here. So I'm gonna go grab some gold rivets. Sorry, my rivet press is behind the curtain. Let's do it this way. I'll bring this over. So I got me some gold rivets. Let's see if I can put this on. I have to use this because I'm not good with strength. And she's got the eye placements, the little rivets placed at the top of its eyes. Let me start from the side here. I can scrunch it up some if I can just get a hold of it. Get my chair out of the way. I want to go towards the top. And it'll work right through there. It moved. Hold on. There we go, right there. That's a little closer, but it should be all right. His eye looks like his eye's going to be up in his forehead. Oops. Oh my. Oh well. It moved a little bit on me, but we can put this one better. We don't want to put it too much better because then it will look a little odd. So we'll put it right there. We'll just put it on. You can see what it looks like. I won't set it until after I stop videoing, but there we go. So there's my face here. Let me put you back up here. Get this off here. Okay. Oops, sit back down. So there's my little face. I just have to set the rivets. But one of his little eyeballs looks like it's rolling up in his head, but that's fine. But there's my little owl face. So this is just something, again, this is just something to show you that you can do these little faces and make your little bags. Now there's like a bazillion tutorials out there on how to make the whole complete bag. The handle's a little unique on it. Some of mine I converted to backpacks, and there's tutorials out there as well to do backpacks or convert them to backpacks, so you should be able to look at them. I don't know, I kind of like that now, looking at it in the camera. Go out, check anybody's tutorial as far as how to complete the bag. But I guess I wanted to show everybody how to make the little face. I just thought it would be something interesting to do and see that this can be done, and even on a domestic machine. So thank you so much for watching. If you're still with me, I appreciate it. If you like this video, please give me a like. That'll let me know. If I want to do something like this or make another face in the future, I can show how, pick another face out and make one. Also, if you aren't a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And turn on your notification bells too. If you're a subscriber, that way I'd come up with something different. Hopefully next time I'll have makeup on. Again, like I said, I just did something quick and just didn't have any makeup on today, so I appreciate it. Maybe this will be the face you should see instead of this face. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a good day. Bye.